I see her as a formidable threat. So, let's see how we handle our preparations for this duel. I've already faced her here in Dubai earlier this year, so I have a sense of what to expect. I anticipate a grueling contest ahead, primarily because, as I mentioned, she performs exceptionally well on these courts. Alex Eala just pulled off an upset against the reigning Wimbledon titleist on the main stage. Now, the global tennis community is pondering the very scenario that seemed impossible when the tournament kicked off. Just how far is this improbable journey going to extend? This stunning streak has fundamentally shifted the narrative of the event, casting the rising Filipino star as the most captivating figure at these championships. Standing between Eala and her maiden major quarterfinal appearance is Jasmine Paolini. It's the same opponent Eala conquered in Dubai 5 months back. However, Paolini is also the veteran who reached the final here 2 seasons ago, bringing significant big-stage poise to this upcoming encounter. Yet, she has struggled with recurring ailments this year, fueling skepticism about whether her physique can endure the intensity of yet another deep run in a major bracket. This goes beyond your typical round of 1-6 tie. It is a confrontation between 2 contrasting arcs of momentum, and only one will survive. To grasp why this pairing is inciting such fervor, we must revisit the events that transpired this past Saturday. If you weren't watching, you missed a defining chapter of this year's All-England Club festivities. Alex Eala walked onto the grass as the 29th seed to challenge Iga Swiatek, the defending champion and 3rd seed, a 6-time major winner and among the most dominant forces in the women's circuit. Only a year prior, Swiatek had hoisted the trophy after a clinical 6-0 dismantling of Amanda Anisimova in one of the most lopsided finals in recent memory. But facing Eala, the narrative changed entirely as the young Filipino competitor showcased a gutsy performance that shocked the crowd and cemented her status as a legitimate threat. And Alex Eala didn't merely challenge the title holder, she effectively dictated the terms of play. From the opening rally, she proved she belonged under the bright lights, refusing to be rattled by the prestige of the stage or the stature of her elite opponent. The first set alone spanned a grueling 84 minutes, culminating in an intense 11-9 tiebreak. It was a test of sheer willpower as Swiatek fought off numerous set points matched by Eala, with both refusing to crumble under the strain. The atmosphere intensified as Swiatek, down 2-4 during the tiebreaker, vented her frustration by slamming her racket into her kit bag. Miraculously, she fought back to equalize at 5-all, even securing 2 opportunities to clinch the set. Yet, Eala, at only 21, navigating her first-ever Grand Slam seeding, maintained an extraordinary level of poise. She weathered the onslaught, pushed through a grueling final exchange, and coaxed another miscue from Swiatek's forehand wing to capture a thriller of an opening set. Both competitors then exited to take a quick intermission, seeking to gather their composure before the second act. Once back on the surface, however, it was evident that only one had truly recalibrated. Eala snatched a love game break immediately and sprinted away. She surged to a 2-break advantage. Even when Swiatek clawed one back, Eala struck right back by securing yet another break of the serve. The title holder simply lacked a solution for the relentless heat, coming from the opposite side. The pivotal moment occurred at 15-40 on Swiatek's delivery. Facing a breakpoint, the champion shanked a simple volley, effectively killing any chance of a recovery. There was still work to be done for Eala, who required 3 match points and endured a draining 1-7 final game before finally finishing things off with a clinical cross-court forehand. As the ball paint brushed the line, the arena erupted into a frenzy of shock and pure exhilaration. The board reflected 7-6, 6-2, yet the underlying metrics told a far more profound story. Eala tallied just 21 unforced miscues, against Swiatek's 44 recorded 5 breaks, and dominated by winning a staggering 68% of points off the champion's second serve. It was a courageous, surgical display that established Alex Eala as a premier talent on the sport's grandest stage. This wasn't accidental, no fluke, and definitely not a one-time flash in the pan. It was the result of a precise strategy perfectly executed under the intense scrutiny of Eala's career-defining moment, and it functioned flawlessly. Every strategic shift, every brave return, and every power shot had a specific intent. Against the reigning Wimbledon winner, Eala never appeared rattled. Rather, she seemed ready. Her post-match conversation unveiled the deep emotion fueling her win. Fighting back tears, Eala discussed her path from the Philippines, recalling those countless evenings spent rallying with her kin after classes. She grinned while picturing her younger self, frilly socks, flashy sneakers, and round cheeks fantasizing about such time. Her tone then shifted, growing grave. She conceded that for a titan like Iga Swiatek, a six-time major victor, surviving to the fourth round or securing a marquee win might seem rather mundane or expected. Yet, for an up-and-coming athlete from her background, this milestone carried profound significance. Abruptly, Eala checked her own enthusiasm. She reminded the audience, and perhaps herself, that the mission remained incomplete. She wasn't settling for this. Sporting a determined grin, she turned her focus toward the horizon, uttering a simple, "Let's go." That next hurdle is Jasmine Paolini. To grasp what she brings to the main stage this Monday, you first have to acknowledge the trials she has faced over the past year. Just 12 months prior, Paolini was a shining star in the women's game. During the 2024 season, she shattered barriers as the first Italian to compete in a Wimbledon final, pushing Barbara Krejcikova to the brink in a grueling three-set battle that ended 6-2, 2-6, 6-4. Earlier that same calendar year, she made a splash at the French Open final, surged to a top 4 world ranking, and solidified her reputation as one of the most reliable contenders on tour. Partnered with Sara Errani, they established a formidable doubles duo, stacking up accolades on a burgeoning resume. Every aspect of her professional trajectory pointed straight to the top. But then 2026 arrived, and Paolini's campaign morphed into a struggle against injury and frustration. The initial warning signs emerged at the Italian Open in Rome, where she began feeling persistent foot discomfort. She gritted her teeth and played on, even testing Elise Mertens, over 3 grueling sets in the third round. Despite having 3 chances to clinch the win, she fell short. Later, she had to pull out of the doubles bracket after her trainer discovered that her ankle had become immobilized and her foot pain had flared up alarmingly. She still attempted to compete at Roland Garros, hoping for a recovery, but instead encountered another heartbreaking setback, crashing out in the second round against Solana Sierra, who was then ranked 68th globally. The loss proved psychologically devastating. During her post-match media session, Paolini broke down, admitting how tough it had become to remain upbeat. She confessed that even discussing the sport had turned into a chore, implying taking a break might be the only sensible path forward. By then, her global standing had plummeted from 4th to 17th, and she reached the All England club, holding a mediocre win-loss record of 13-11 for the year. The grass court circuit provided little hope. Paolini was forced to pull out of the Berlin event due to a persistent foot issue. She then entered Eastbourne as the top seed, only to be knocked out in straight sets by 7-year-old German qualifier Tatiana Maria, losing 6-4, 6-3. Instead of arriving at Wimbledon brimming with self-assurance, she came in with more questions about her game than she had faced before her breakthrough in 2024. Then, a surprise occurred. The grass surface seemed to rejuvenate her. In the opening match, Paolini appeared headed for another early departure, as Robin Montgomery swept the first set 6-0. It looked like her tournament would end almost immediately, but somehow she shifted gears. She clawed her way back to take the second set 6-4 and then narrowly won a tight third set decider 7-5, salvaging a contest that could have easily been a short, one-sided affair. She carried that momentum into the second round against Viktorija Golubic. Again, the match was a grind, with Paolini needing a stressful opening set tiebreak before securing a 7-6, 6-4 victory, steadily restoring both her internal composure and her belief with each passing round. It all clicked for Jasmine Paolini by the third round. Facing Maria Sakkari, she delivered arguably her best display of the competition, cruising to a lopsided 6-1, 6-2 triumph. She played with authority, exploited every opening, hit her shots cleanly, and moved across the lawn with a fluid ease missing for months. For the first time since her remarkable 2024 run, Paolini mirrored the athlete who stood on centre court for a Wimbledon final. This sets up the major mystery for Monday. Which version of Jasmine Paolini will appear on the big stage? Will it be the woman stunned in the first round by Tatjana Maria in Eastbourne, who broke down following an early Roland Garros exit while nursing an ongoing foot complaint since May? Or will it be the bold, attacking force that dismantled Maria Sakkari in just 48 minutes with such brutal efficiency? That result could define who advances to the quarterfinals. What adds even more spice to this clash is that Alex Eala has already bested Paolini once this term. Back in February, during the WTA 1000 Dubai Championships, Ella pulled off a shocker against the No. 6 seed, cruising to a 6-1, 7-6 win in the round of 32. While that particular contest occurred on hard courts, Paolini's fitness levels were arguably superior then compared to her current form. Ella dictated play from the pommel, very first point, put constant pressure on the return, pushed Paolini to every corner, and stayed composed as the second set tightened, clinching the breaker 7-5. Their head-to-head stands at 1-0 for Eala, though a prior result on a different surface isn't a guarantee. It provides something vital: belief. Knowing she has previously bested Paolini provides a psychological edge that serves as a potent tool amidst the high-stakes environment of a Grand Slam round of 16. Yet there is another narrative. Here, Paolini is a two-time major finalist. She is well-versed in the immense intensity inherent to a Wimbledon final on centre court, having successfully pushed Barbara Krejcikova to a second-set win before her eventual three-set defeat. She grasps the unique pressure accompanying tennis's most elite stages. She knows exactly how the nerves sharpen in crunch time, how every rally takes on more weight, and how to handle the massive expectations of performing under a global audience. For Alex Eala, this represents entirely uncharted territory. She has never advanced beyond the fourth round of a major, nor has she participated in a Grand Slam quarterfinal. Her remarkable upset of Iga Swiatek was easily one of the highlights of this year's draw. However, professional tennis habitually demands the same inquiry following any massive breakthrough. Can you replicate it? Can you produce that level of brilliance again just 48 hours later against a totally different tactical threat? The mental drain of eliminating the title holder is immense. The grueling 8 4-minute opener, the sheer anxiety of the pivotal tiebreak, the massive adrenaline spike from toppling one of the tour's icons, and the sudden spotlight of becoming the tournament's main headline. All of this demands significant physical, emotional reserves. Come Monday, Eala must demonstrate she still has gas in the tank. From a strategic viewpoint, this encounter is intriguing. Eala's grass court campaign has been stellar from the start. She secured the Birmingham Crown in June, marking her first professional grass title by coming back from a set down to edge out Nicola Butankova. She followed that, reached a turning point with a stellar performance in Berlin, moving past Donna Vekic and then shocked top-ranked Elena Rybakina and the 8th-seeded Elina Svitolina, ultimately falling to Linda Noskova in the final four. These results confirm that Eala's grass-court proficiency is legitimate, emerging as a signature pillar of her playing style. Her receiving ability, long hailed as her main strength, becomes significantly more lethal on slicker courts. Swift surfaces favor athletes capable of taking swings early to absorb and utilize speed, a tactic Eala has masterfully employed all competition long. Challenging Swiatek, she secured an incredible 68% of rallies involving the title holder's second delivery, highlighting just how aggressively she dictates play starting from the initial exchange. Should Alex Eala manage to replicate even a portion of the intensity she brought against Iga Swiatek, Jasmine Paolini might be facing an uphill battle. Paolini's serve hasn't exactly been a rock-solid asset this year, whereas Eala has forged her recent string of wins by punishing second serves and driving rivals into defensive, awkward spots. If she initiates that kind of return game heat immediately, she might seize command before Paolini finds her groove. However, Paolini wields a brand of tennis that is tailor-made for turf. Despite a shorter frame, she remains among the most agile competitors on the circuit and prefers operating inside the baseline. She strikes early, turning opponent power against them with elite accuracy. When her forehand is clicking, she possesses the ability to control exchanges from nearly anywhere. Her dominant 6-1, 6-2 triumph against Maria Sakkari proved her prior foot trouble is a non-issue.